home, placed her phone on the table, and started watching TV. But soon after that, her son found the phone and asked to play with it. She agreed, thinking nothing unusual was gonna happen. But around 11 p.m. that same night, the mother decided it was time to go to bed. Strangely though, she found her son already in bed, which was very unusual for him. Normally, he'd want to stay up a lot longer. That's when she noticed her new phone was still in her son's hands. So she took it from him and unlocked the phone. At first, only seeing some minor changes. He changed the background on her phone and took a few pictures around the house, nothing too alarming. But since the photos seemed random, she started deleting them. Until she saw something that shocked her. This was the last photo on her camera roll.
What's up, seekers? Welcome back to the channel, man. If you guys are brand new here and if you guys don't know what we do is we break down scary and creepy videos, man, on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to IG reels, man, from Facebook clips, anything weird, usual, unexplained, you can find right here on this channel. Just want to thank the seekers, man, who's been tapping in with us, man, who's been subbing up to the channel. I really appreciate that, man. You guys are really helping us, man. So like I said, I found this video for you guys today. Let's do what we do best. Seek the truth.
So about 10 minutes ago, there was an update in the disappearance of Nicola Bulley. Nicola went missing last Friday whilst walking her dog near the River Wire. And just moments ago, police released a CCTV image of a woman walking her dog who they now believe may have been the last person to see Nicola. It's important to note that the police want to talk to this woman as a potential witness and not a potential suspect. In fact, police have now said that they have no reason to suspect that a third party is involved with Nicola's disappearance. Authorities are continuing an extensive search of the river, as well as searching an old abandoned house near to where Nicola went missing. Hopefully, Nicola will be located soon and her family and friends will have answers.
Let's talk about...
Hopefully, yeah, seekers, man, she get freaking located soon, bro. That's kind of, man, one of my freaking like biggest fears. But one day you just out and you just like disappear off of like the face of the earth. No freaking nobody seeing you, and you just like you're just gone, man. Hopefully, man, like I said, that witness, bro, that she can provide some whereabouts. I guess where she was at, man, because she was the last person that seen her. We're definitely going to check into that case, seekers, man, to see if she got found or not.
What happened to 14-year-old Ava Wood? Ava was from Baldwinsville, New York, and she was on the 9th grade honor roll list, and she was the MVP of the JV girls soccer team. On January 20th of this year, around 8:30 a.m., Ava's mother had called the police department asking if they could do a status check on Ava because she did not show up to school that morning. She stated that Ava was at home with her father, and her father was depressed, and she stated that the night before they were on the phone together, and he had said, "This is how it ends for us." Ava's mother had given the police officers a key to get into the house, and when they got into the house, they saw Ava and her father in 2 separate bedrooms. Both of them had gunshot wounds, but the father's wound was self-inflicted. This is a very devastating case, and we may never know why Ava's father did this to her. Many prayers to Ava's family and friends during this very tragic...
We need to talk about...
That's insane, seekers, bro. It's like, was he giving like a freaking cryptic message, man? Because he said she was on the phone talking to her father last night, and he just said this is how it ends for us. Obviously, the mom, she probably had no idea what that freaking meant, but how can, man, this world, bro, man, it's freaking insane, seekers, bro. That young too, man. 14, bro. And that just ended it all. Cause it said he was depressed, man. So when you're in that like mind state, bro, it's like you can do like unthinkable things, man, that you would never think you could do. It goes to show you how powerful the mind is, how I always got to keep it right, seekers. As I said, seekers, man, piece of advice, bro, we got to keep our minds right, bro. Everybody, man. You don't want to get into a dark place, because it could change you as a person, and you will do some unspeakable things, man. Tell me what you guys think about that case down below, seekers. That's just tragic.
about this photo. This photo was discovered by a single mother who recently bought a new phone. She came home, placed her phone on the table, and started watching TV. But soon after that, her son found the phone and asked to play with it. She agreed, thinking nothing unusual was gonna happen. But around 11 p.m. that same night, the mother decided it was time to go to bed. Strangely though, she found her son already in bed, which was very unusual for him. Normally, he'd want to stay up a lot longer. That's when she noticed her new phone was still in her son's hands. So she took it from him and unlocked the phone. At first, only seeing some minor changes. He changed the background on her phone and took a few pictures around the house, nothing too alarming. But since the photos seemed random, she started deleting them, until she saw something that shocked her. This was the last photo on her camera roll, showing her son sleeping, but the photo was taken by someone else above him. Follow for more stories.
A woman who would...
I'm sorry, Seekers, man. But just imagine, bro, like, you freaking scrolling through your phone, man, your pics, you just checking it out, and you see somebody, like, in a freaking bed with your child, bro. You see, like, that freaking creepy eye, too. It's like, what the hell? That didn't even really look like a freaking doll or something, man. I don't know. Like, I can't even imagine that, man. You scrolling through your phone, bro, you just see somebody in your bed, bro. Like, what's going through your mind? That would mean freaking asking, like, a million questions, like, how did he get in my house? How couldn't I have noticed this, bro? Like, what? Good thing she was scrolling through her pictures, man. You never know what you're gonna find in there. Insane, Seekers.
who was missing for 30 years was just found alive in Puerto Rico. So Patricia Copta vanished without a trace from her home in Pennsylvania in 1992. The situation surrounding her disappearance was a little strange and scary because Patricia's mental health had been getting worse and worse over the years. So when she disappeared, the police told her younger sister and husband that they thought she left on her own accord and basically closed the case. They thought that she would maybe come back, but then 30 years went by with no phone calls and no contact. Everyone in her life had assumed she passed away. But recently, an 83-year-old woman in an elderly home in Puerto Rico started opening up to a nurse for the first time. The woman had been diagnosed with dementia and started bringing up things in her life that she had never spoken about before. This alarmed one of the nurses at the facility, who contacted authorities to get a DNA test because she started believing that this woman was a missing woman from the United States. And sure enough, it was Patricia. She had never told anyone about her previous life and had never contacted her family. Her husband and sister were contacted because they're still alive and they were shocked.
This is the disappearance of Dora Marquez. Dora Marquez was an adventurous explorer who was said to light up a jungle. On August 9, 2019, Dora was reported missing by her family after failing to clock in as explorer of the jungle. She was never seen again. Her family reported odd behavior leading up to her disappearance, like asking trees if they can count to 3 and stapling googly eyes on an ugly backpack. She remains missing, and police have created digital composites of what she may look like today. Here is an example. And this one too. So what do you think happened to this bowl cut with legs? Was it cousin Diego who grew jealous of her fame and wanted to replace her with his own project? Go Diego, go. Maybe she was unalived in a robbery gone wrong. Swiper, no swiping. Or aggravated assault. What does her best friend Boots know? And why isn't he talking to police? Could it be because he's a monkey? Backpack, backpack. Backpack, back. What do you know, damn it? Or was it Algo Mas?
Freaking little dark twists and dark origins, man, to the freaking Dora, the cartoon, man. Like I said, bro, and this the media that we be seeing, Seekers, man, there's always like some dark messaging like behind it. We never know, bro. That's why, man. Like I said, bro, when you go back watching through all the cartoons and stuff, man, like how they have like some freaking messages behind it. You just didn't pay attention to it as you was kids, because who would? Once you get older, you start to understand things, man. Dora, but she was probably right in that same boat.
This is the case of
His
Dylan
family in
Lenz, who met a
barrels?
girl on Snapchat and then stabbed her and ran her over twice with his car in a Walmart parking lot. Dylan and Abby met on October 15th of this year. They met on Snapchat and decided to meet up, so Abby sent Dylan her address and he went to her house to go pick her up. Their first stop was Walmart, so they walked around and got back in Dylan's car, and they were getting ready to head to another store. Well, this is when Dylan grabbed Abby by the throat and then stabbed her in the shoulder multiple times. Then, with him being in a panic, he unlocked the car doors and let Abby get out of the car, and she started running and screaming for help.
Nobody heard her?
Then Dylan freaked out even more, now being worried that he was going to get in trouble for an attempted murder, so he took his car and started chasing her. While Abby was running away, she was trying to run downhill and she tripped, and this is when Dylan ran her over with his car twice. A 911 call was made by a witness, and they saw a car that was making bouncing motions and squealing their tires. On the floor, it appeared to be something that looked like a human body. The police rushed over there, but not before Dylan fled. He saw a car that was coming in his direction, and he got scared and drove off. When they got there, they saw that Abby had life-threatening injuries, so they rushed her to the hospital, and she was later airlifted to UW's Children's Hospital in Wisconsin. The next day, they went to go talk to Abby, and they saw that she had a spinal injury where she had no movement below her waist. Both of her ankles were broken, and she had road rash from her shoulders down to her feet, on top of other injuries. She is still in the ICU, and I'm going to leave a link to the GoFundMe in the comments. Since Dylan fled the scene, they had to look at the surveillance footage from Walmart, and they were able to get the license plate number, which was linked to Dylan, so they went over to his residence. When they got there, they saw that there was blood on Dylan's car, there was grass jammed into the car frame, and that there was a broken license plate where the rest of it was found at the crime scene. They also found blood on the inside of the car, which Dylan's mom said was from the victim. Dylan was immediately arrested and admitted that it was premeditated and said, quote, "While I was in the store, I was like, this is the last day she's going to be alive. This is the last night of her life. I was out of control. I wasn't thinking. My body just took over." After the ordeal, he also texted his friend saying, "Oh no, I'm in big trouble. I really messed up this time. I did something really bad and I'm going away for a long time for this." He also said during questioning that if he didn't flee, he was going to put her body in a trash bag and throw it away, or he would bury it. After 2 weeks in jail, a $150,000 bond was posted and he made bail. Contingent upon his bail, he was told that he was not able to contact Abby or her family, either directly or indirectly. He was also told that he had to stay at home with the exception of going to school, work, court hearings, or doctor's appointments. Since his release, he entered a treatment program that was suggested by his doctors, and he is not going to school or work. Dylan is being charged with first-degree attempted homicide, and his maximum time in jail would be 60 years. His preliminary hearing is November 17th.
These are some of my
Seekers, man. Outside, like I said, man, when you're meeting people, man, on freaking line and stuff like that, where you have to be extremely careful because you never know what the outcome will be. You're just seeing firsthand, man. Talk about saying this is gonna be her last day. This thoughts that started taking over his mind. He said he was out of control, bro. And look what happened, man. That's what I said. But if you're gonna meet, I got somebody up online, man, it has to be in a public place. Or don't try to like meet them in their cars or stuff like that because you in their domain. They can do kind of whatever they freaking want, man. Because you're in that environment. They're controlling everything, bro. So just be smart, man. If you're gonna meet somebody online, man, just always do it in a public place. Don't try to meet them at their house or the cars and stuff like that. Like, you know, it has to be public, or just don't go seekers. Trust me, man. This is the stuff I be learning off these videos, man. Watching it with y'all, man. Like I said, we be seeking the truth, and we be freaking learning these new things together. So I'm appreciative of the seekers, man.
My favourite infamous last words from death row criminals. Erskine Childers was found guilty of the illegal possession of a firearm, and so when he was sentenced to death, the judge chose an execution method that mirrored his crime. He was to be shot to death by a firing squad, and his last words were actually to those men that would be killing him. He said, "Take a step forward, lads. It'll be easier that way." James Edward Smith was handed the death penalty for committing a robbery and murder, but outside of that, he was very known to be into black magic and voodoo, and even claimed to have sacrificed a child. He actually asked prison staff if his last meal could be this specific kind of dirt. Obviously they said no, they gave him a yogurt instead. His exact last words weren't officially recorded, but the prison guards said that he promised his ghost would haunt that prison for the next 300 years, and there was nothing they could do about it. Johnny Garrett was sentenced to death in the 1980s for supposedly killing a nun. Just a side note, a lot of people think he was actually falsely accused, and so he was killed for no reason. But either way, Johnny Garrett's last words before he was executed were, "I'd like to thank my family for loving me and taking care of me, and the rest of the world can kiss my ass."
These freaking people, man, they freaking last lines. I mean, their last words, bro. Speaking really bone chilling if you think about it, man. Like, to me, I don't think there's no words that could sum up like your entire life like that, man. They just saying whatever, I guess, hits them. But remember, seekers, man, can't. You could even imagine that, man. Like, you have to sum up your life within like some words, man. Like your whole entire life, your existence. You have to sum it up with words, man. Just words, it's not enough to me, in my opinion. What do you guys think, seekers? Am I wrong or am I tripping?
On April 23, 2006, a Texas man named Gary Brown was on his way to the Takugama Chimp Sanctuary in Sierra Leone, Africa for a day of sightseeing. With him were 2 American colleagues and 2 local men named Issa and Melvin. As the 5 drove along, all of a sudden this huge chimp came running out of the jungle, stopping in the road, just stopping the vehicle in its tracks. The driver, Issa, who was one of the locals, knew this chimp was not acting right, so he began to back away from it. But this 6-foot-tall, 270-pound alpha male chimp named Bruno was not having it. Bruno got down on all fours and just tore off after the vehicle. When he gets to the vehicle, he's screaming, he's pounding on it, he grabs one of the side mirrors, rips it off, throws it, runs to the back window, punches it out, and then leaps through the window into the back of the car, where he immediately begins to maul Melvin, who's sitting in between the 2 Americans, Gary and the other guy. This crazy fight breaks out where this chimp grabs Melvin's hand and bites off more than half of it. 3 fingers and most of his hand are gone. Somehow the men get this chimp back out the window, but Melvin's bleeding profusely, so Gary takes off his shirt. He uses it to try and staunch the flow of blood, and meanwhile Issa, he takes off forwards again down the road, trying to get away from this chimp, which is pursuing them. Eventually they come to a locked gate. It's locked with a chain, and Issa attempts to ram through it. It works in so much as the gate opens, but it stalls the vehicle, so the men all bail out. Issa, he just goes tearing off down the road towards the jungle looking for help. The 2 Americans who are not Gary, they get out and they run a little ways away, but they hold back waiting for Gary and Melvin. Meanwhile, this chimp runs up on top of the car, grabs Melvin out, rips him out, and begins mauling him again. By the time Gary gets out of the car, all he can hear is Melvin screaming, "Oh God, please, please help me." And now Gary is ticked. He looks down, he sees the biggest stick that he can find, he grabs it, he runs around the vehicle just in time to see this chimp finishing, basically tearing off and eating one of Melvin's feet. There's just tendons hanging out. So Gary, he just goes charging up to this chimp. The chimp turns around, kind of bows up on him, but Gary uses the stick as a lance and rams it into Bruno, the chimp's throat, as hard as he can. And this drives Bruno on his back, and then Bruno takes off into the jungle. So Gary, he helps Melvin up, and they begin hobbling down the road. The 2 Americans and Melvin and Gary would eventually make it to the main road. Melvin and Gary would be picked up by a military truck and taken to the hospital, where Melvin would make it just fine. But once they got there, shortly after, Gary was in the parking lot when a van pulled up. And when they opened up the back of that van, there in the back were the remains of Issa. He had run into the rest of this troop of chimps which had escaped earlier that day, and they had mauled him to death, taking off his jaw, disemboweling him, taking both of his hands and feet, and taking off his genitals.
Gosh, seekers, man. That sounds like some shit out of a horror story, man. But we seen the freaking pictures, like it legit happened, bro. Like, man, could you guys imagine that, bro? Like a freaking chimp is coming at you, man. Like you think you're in a car, you see, boom, cracks open a window, just starts attacking you, man. Like in the car. Man, like I said, I don't know if the chimp for those freaking 2 other guys, man, if we can throw him out the car, man, the chimps. And then they just ran into the woods. Then, like I said, he freaking ran into, he ran into the troop of them, I guess the tribe of them, bro. Look what freaking happened, man. Like I said, wildlife, man, like I said, it can be dangerous, bro. Like I said, sometimes the media, they be trained like, you know, wildlife, like they are friendly and stuff like that, man. But at the end of the day, man, it's wildlife is nature, bro. Animals, man. So always got to be careful. I remember when I was a kid, I used to think, you know, chimps were like the freaking, like, you know, nicest, one of the nicest animals ever. Now I'm learning, bro. Chimpanzees, they're dangerous.
Imagine losing your life over a poster. Well, that's exactly what happened to Otto Warmbier when he visited North Korea. Otto was just 21 years old at the time, and he was living in West Virginia. He was about to go to Hong Kong to study overseas for an extended period of time, but before doing that, he wanted to go on one last adventure. He decided to go to North Korea with a travel group and a bunch of other people. And if you didn't know, North Korea is one of the most repressed countries in the world, and it's highly recommended you don't go there. So in December of 2015, Otto arrives in North Korea along with other tourists where they were planning on celebrating New Year's Eve together. The group of tourists were staying at a local hotel together that was known as the Alcatraz of Fun, that was also somewhat separated from the rest of the country. So New Year's Eve comes around and the group is celebrating at the main square. After midnight, everyone ends up returning back to the hotel and everyone kind of goes in their different directions. Some people went to bed, some people went to the bar, and some people even went to the bowling alley. Otto was also sharing a room with this guy in the photo here, Danny Graton. Danny would go on to say later on that there was a 2-hour window period where he didn't know where Otto was, but when he returned to the room around 4:30 in the morning, Otto was sound asleep. So on January 2nd, 2016, the group goes back to the airport as they start getting ready to go back home. However, when they were passing through immigration, one of the security officers taps Otto's shoulder and tells him to follow him. After that, no one else on the trip ended up seeing Otto, and his family wouldn't find out what exactly happened to him for an entire month. You see, Otto had been arrested for doing something that most of us would never think would ever be considered a crime. What Otto was being charged with was basically ripping a poster down from a wall and stealing it. However, the problem is that the CCTV footage that the North Koreans used to charge him with this crime was extremely grainy, and the person in the video was wearing all black, so you couldn't really see if it was Otto or not. The only thing that was working against Otto was that there was footage of him walking through that exact hallway earlier in the day. However, in that other particular footage, he didn't touch the poster. So to this date, we don't know exactly if it was him or not taking that poster. However, the North Koreans didn't believe him and they made him go on national television to confess to his crimes. When Otto went on TV, he ended up saying that he wanted to take the propaganda poster as a trophy back to his Methodist church in the US in order to harm the work ethic and motivation of the Korean people. However, there was a problem with this. Otto was actually Jewish and he didn't attend a church. His family believes that he was forced to confess to a crime he never committed. And in March of 2016, he was sentenced to 15 years of hard labor in North Korea.
What the
I'm gonna run out of time, but this story gets a lot worse. Go to part 2.
Seekers, man. Like I said, I guess, North Korea, man, that's one of the places, man, I don't think I would visit. Hearing that freaking horror story, bro. It's like off that freaking grainy footage here. Like, how could you tell that was him? So they just basically forcing him to admit to a crime he didn't do. He's sentenced for 15 years, bro. Damn, like, could you imagine that, man? Like, and again, for the same thing where she said, like, over a poster at that as well. Like, you get 15 years because you take down a poster, man. I heard no free, bro. It's freaking, I heard it was strict over there. I kind of didn't believe it until now, man. Like I said, watching these videos, bro. Expanding my reality, bro. Whew. See, because what do you guys think, man? 15 years of a poster, is that worth it, man? And would you guys ever visit North Korea? That's what I really want to know. Tell me down below.
I'm, according to documents, I'm 21 years old. But I think, personally, I think that when someone kidnaps a child, he or she probably changed his ID, personality, and yes, I have spots on the neck. I have even 2 spots. I will show you 1 second. Okay, so the first one is here. The second one is here.
Did it match up?
Okay. Okay, so I hope you will with me. When did I start thinking about them? And then a few months ago, it was something like that. I heard from my grandma that, sorry, I'm stressed. My English is bad now because I'm stressed. My grandma said that she thinks that my parents and my family, I mean my mother, my family, knew about my hurt from pedophile, and I don't have to say that. I tried to get a copy of my birth certificate, and but by phone. Person told me everything by phone, and it was weird. So I decided to don't go there, because it's weird that person from government told me by phone my informations. So that's stressed. God, I never been stressed like this. Okay, I want to make a DNA test, but police don't want to help me.
Seekers, man. What do you guys think? Was that her as a child, man? So you saw, like, I guess it's how she said she was matching up, like, the marks on her neck. And she was trying to call on the phone for that birth certificate, and they trying to give her the information over the phone, man. I guess now that's something you have to go in person to do. I mean, in person, man, you're trying to get the birth certificate and prove it. So the family, I guess, whatever she's with, man, they don't try to freaking, try to switch up the information, try to deny it. It's freaking crazy, bro. Think about it, man. You get taken as a child and stuff, and you're trying to prove that you're that person, and they trying to, like, prevent it from happening, man. It's very rare, Seekers, bro. Hopefully there's a part 2 to that, man, so we can check that out. I definitely am going to find that, man. I'm going to have to find that, Seekers. Guys, if you made it with me to the end, man, you're a true seeker, man, seeking the truth. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the support, guys. Like I said, if you, in order for the seekers to grow, man, I need you guys to hit that like button, subscribe. Also, hit that post notification bell so you guys always get notified when I upload a video. As you guys can see, I haven't missed a beat in this month, and I'm planning on posting this month, and the rest is just going to be 1-hour videos, man, for the rest of this month. So yeah, guys, get your popcorn snacks ready, man, because we're going crazy this month, man. That's the plan. Like I said, man, also, if you guys want me to start a Discord so you guys can send me clips and stuff so I can react to and I can put it in the videos, I would do that, man. But like I said, just tell me down below if I should do it or not, man. If I do, then I plan on probably making it towards the end of the month, so going into April. You guys can probably just send me clips and stuff that you guys want me to check out, and that way I have more freaking ways and to get the clips in, because right now I'm finding myself. So if you guys want me to check out something that you guys personally want me to see, I'll start a Discord. You guys can send those clips in there, and hey, you can just keep going and keep expanding together. Like I said, Seekers, you guys gonna catch you in the next one. I appreciate all the support. I'm out. Peace, Seekers. What's up, Seekers? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are brand new here, man, if you don't know what we do, we break down scary and creepy videos, man, on the net, on the web, from YouTube videos to IG videos to TikTok videos. Anything weird, usual, and explained, you can find right here on this channel. Want to thank the Seekers, man, who's been tapping in with us, man, subbing up to the channel. I appreciate that, man. We seeking the truth just like you, man. Found this video for you guys today, bro. Let's do what we do best, Seekers. I seek the truth out here, bro. Somebody gotta find it.
Mother killed her 3-year-old daughter because SpongeBob SquarePants told her to. If you've never heard about this, you might want to. On September 17th, 2022 in Michigan, a police officer named Gerald Sobolewski received a call from a man inside his sister's residence claiming that he found a human foot. So the officer then immediately drove to the residence, and when checking the back room, he found 2 garbage bags with one of them having a human foot sticking out of it, and unfortunately in one of the bags was the body of 3-year-old daughter Sutton Moser, who was stabbed multiple times before being stuffed into the bag. Police immediately got a search team together to find Sutton's mother, and eventually they did find her, and she was passed out in a random graveyard. Turns out the 22-year-old mother named Justine Johnson was the culprit who stabbed and murdered her 3-year-old daughter, and was therefore immediately arrested by the police. When asked why she did it, it was later revealed that she was experiencing hallucinations from heroin withdrawals and not sleeping for approximately 2 weeks. So on the day of Sutton's murder on September 16th, 2022, Justine was hallucinating while watching SpongeBob SquarePants, who apparently instructed her to kill and take her daughter's life. She also said that if she didn't do what she did to her daughter, that they would kill her, and said she was afraid for her life and lost her mind. This case is just shocking and absolutely disturbing, and how could SpongeBob convince you to kill your own daughter? I get she was hallucinating, but still, this is just absolutely crazy to wrap your head around. Rest in peace to Sutton, you did not deserve this at all.
Always check under your bed.
Man, bro, Seekers, that's a freaking bone-chilling case, bro. Like I said, you guys know the shows and movies and stuff we watch, man. They be how sometimes people be saying like they have freaking messages behind it, and they freaking can make people do things that they shouldn't do, bro. Like, she said she was hallucinating, but still, like, to say that SpongeBob convinced you to do that to your own daughter, bro, that's like some dark, demented stuff, Seekers. What do you guys think, bro?
Before you go to sleep, this, my friends, is the Poltergeist Clown. Click the plus, drop a like, tag a friend, share with 3, or this might get you at night. The Poltergeist Clown is a demonic clown. It takes the shape of a children's toy, waiting for its victims to go to sleep. As soon as it does, it teleports itself under the bed. Once the child awakens, it notices that it's gone. It checks in one place and one place only, under the bed, which then the clown will suck them into another dimension, never being seen again. If this video gets 20,000 likes, I'll summon this cursed clown. Hopefully he doesn't get me before then.
I don't mess with clown, Seekers. Hell no, bro.
Imagine being so scared of police that you freeze to death. Brandon Bushman was a 34-year-old man living in Minnesota. On June the 26th, 2023, something horrific was revealed. Police responded to a call asking them to attend a property that hadn't been lived in since around February 2023. Just after 3:30 p.m., police found Brandon's body inside of a chest freezer in the property. Now, witnesses had seen police in the local area and spotted Brandon run from the upstairs of the house. It's believed that he had a warrant outstanding for his arrest, and it's believed he was trying to evade police. In doing so, he ran to the freezer of the property, presumably hoping to hide there for a short amount of time. However, after climbing into the basement freezer by choice, tragically due to it being an older model of freezer, it had no facility to be opened from the inside. It had a latching mechanism on the outside of the freezer only. Tragically, Brandon was trapped. He couldn't escape the freezer. He was found deceased, and the autopsy showed no evidence of him having any prior injuries or trauma to his body.
Can you?
Seekers, as I said, bro, you gotta think before you freaking act, bro. Like, for him trying to hide from the police, bro, it ended up him freaking making an ultimate mistake, and he lost everything, bro. Like, he was trying to freaking avoid the consequences, man, of his actions, bro. Went to the freezer. It was an older model he didn't know, and look what happened, bro. It's like it's as simple as the small things, Seekers, man, that you just don't think about. You're just trying to avoid the consequences or something like that. It could lead to an even bigger one, so it's best to just freaking own up to it, bro. Because you never know what that other consequence could lead to, man, if you're trying to avoid your first one.
Tell that there is something wrong with this picture. At first, when I saw this picture, I couldn't really tell what it was about it that felt strange, but I knew something was off. I had to get some of the backstory and some of the context on it to understand what the picture was even from. This was back in 2016 when the Saturn family went missing, including their daughter. Nobody knew what happened to these people, but effectively their home became a crime scene, which is where the photo came from. Before we dive in, a huge thank you to you for listening to Creep Time, the podcast. If you haven't listened, go click the link in my bio and listen on Spotify or Apple. This picture, this was from the initial walkthrough of the home. They typically walk through a home, they'll take photos of every room. If you look at the central mirror, right towards the back of the reflection, you can see that this person is not alone in this room. It was only discovered after the fact that it appeared to be someone was hiding in the darkness next to the chair. Whoever space this was, police believe they might have been responsible for the disappearance.
Seekers, you definitely saw that face, right? I know I wasn't the only one who saw that, bro. Like I said, when you first glance at the freaking picture, I'm gonna say there's nothing wrong with it, but if you zoomed in, there's definitely a face there, bro. So they definitely have to be connected to whatever happened to that family, bro. It's a small thing, Seekers, bro, that you just can't miss. Ooh. How the hell's a tire fall? Is that it?
Stop scrolling because this has to be one of the strangest and scariest skinwalker encounters ever. TikTok user Samael said that he was walking across a parking lot when a man called him by his name. He turned around and realized that he didn't recognize this man and had no idea how he even knew his name. Things got even weirder though. The man then asked him for $1 and said that I know you only have one in your wallet right now, which was true. Samael said that at this point his heart was jackhammering. He froze there and didn't know what to say, so he said, "Yeah man, I only got $1 but you can have it." He gave him the $1 and then the strange man said, "Yo, do you want to see something?" The man then allegedly lifted up the back of his shirt and showed him his tail. Then he got on all fours like an animal and crawled away.
Seekers, what do you guys think, man? Do you believe that was a skinwalker, or was he just freaking trying to mess with us, man? Those skinwalker stories, bro, they're always like trippy, man. You always gotta like do a deep dive into them, bro. You gotta research them yourself to check out if it's true or not. I'm definitely gonna have to check out those skinwalker stories.
Most disturbing videos in the world, episode 6. This picture contains a list of disturbing videos from the least scary to the most. This will be my scariest series ever. Welcome to tier 7 because we skipped a couple of them. And honestly today, we're gonna skip directly to tier 10. The first video is titled Funky Town. This video single-handedly could be the worst video the internet has ever had. Now obviously I can't show the video here, but I can tell you everything you need to know about it. And please remember, don't look this up. Trust me. It shows a man, getting executed, in which they remove the man's face all while he's still alive. And lots of other stuff start happening. And in the background of the video, the song Funky Town starts playing. You know this song? Yeah, that one. Make sure to like and follow because I start my brand new series tomorrow.
That Funky Town video is freaking cursed video, bro.
What they find out years later will haunt you. A young couple decided to take a late-night stroll through the forest, but little did they know what awaited them. As they walked, the man felt a sense of unease, but his girlfriend dismissed his concerns. Suddenly, the man stepped on something that felt alive and squishy under his feet. Before he could react, they heard rustling from the bushes beside them. They ignored it and kept walking until they returned home. Years later, and they were watching TV when an interview with a death row inmate caught their attention. The man had been asked if he had ever came close to getting caught for his heinous crimes. The killer responded with a chilling tale. "Yes, I remember one night in the woods a couple walked right by me. The man stepped on the body of the girl who I had just killed. I was hiding in the bushes just a few feet away, but they never saw me." The couple watched in horror as the name of one of the most notorious serial killers was revealed. His name was Ted Bundy. Follow because my next story is crazy.
Seekers, man, can you freaking even imagine that, bro? You walking in the woods or something like that, bro. You already have that freaking weird feeling, bro. You, like they said, the guy stepped on something squishy, bro. He didn't even pay attention to it because he heard rustling in the freaking bushes. And I found out that you was in danger like the whole time, bro. And nothing happened to you. Ooh. Like you could really, there's danger lurking everywhere, bro. That's why I always say be aware, Seekers, because you never know what situation you're gonna be in, man.
So this murdered Texas couple's missing baby has finally been found after 42 years. And the story is crazy. Let's take a look. So in 1981, Dean Klaus, his wife Tina Lynn, and their baby Holly disappeared without a trace in East Texas. The only clue was from an anonymous caller who said that he had found Dean's car in California. And he claimed that 3 women in white robes drove it from Texas to California. Police were actually able to track down one of the women who called herself Sister Susan, and she claimed that Dean had joined a cult and renounced all earthly possessions. And she wouldn't tell them anything else. It actually wasn't until late last year that human remains found around the same time were confirmed to be Dean and Tina's. Dean had been beaten to death and Tina had been strangled. But that didn't answer what happened to Holly. This year, investigators were searching for human remains around where Dean and Tina were found. And that's when they got a genetics hit that Holly was alive and in Oklahoma. But get this, when they were talking to Holly, they found out that she had been left on the steps of a church in Arizona by none other than 3 women in white robes. Investigation is still pending, and they are really trying to figure out who these white-robed women are. But for now, at least we know that Holly is alive and well.
Man, bro, what the hell? Seekers? That guy just freaking, you say he joined the cult and just gave away, they said gave up all his early possessions. I'm guessing that included his daughter too, bro. He just left her in the church in Arizona. And the freaking baby survived. But what happened? I'm trying to figure out now. The mystery is what happened to the parents out of like cult and those. What happened to the parents that they connected? Seekers, man. Like I said, when I watch these videos, I always expand my mind, bro. I gotta do my research just like you guys have to. Gotta check up on that. Where's this guy? Edit. Gotta call it out like I see it, bro. It's an edit. I just gotta say it, man. Or at least I think it's an edit.
If you hear a scream, run. This, my friends, is SCP-939, also known as Many Voices. Click the plus, drop a like, tag a friend, share with 3, or this might come after you. SCP-939 mimics the voices of its last victims, either it being their screams or them talking, to lure in new victims. As soon as you get there, it'll devour you. If you hear a scream, don't trust it.
Scariest videos I found online. We bet you can't watch the whole video.
The last one scares me.
A woman is hearing weird noises in her home. She goes to investigate. This is what happens.
Edit? Or legit?
A man sees another strange man on the road. Things get really weird.
Buddy! How you doing? Oh, just some cruisers, man.
What the?
That's Chris. Just crawling on me like a cat. What's up, dude?
Let's say that this thing grabs you and says it won't let you go unless your third act leaks all the photos on their phone right now. Let me know who it is and let me know if you think you're saved or doomed. A man hears something in the drain cover and decides to check it out. This is what happens. Should I do a part 4?
Kenneth Smith,
You guys saw that freaking last part, bro? He lifted up the drain cover seekers. And somebody was definitely in there, bro. Like, guys, you know, been hearing the things about how, like, freaking people, they can just be anywhere, bro. Living anywhere. Was he, like, living in the sewers, bro? Heard rumors about sewer people and stuff like that. You know, people, I guess, who live on the ground. Definitely got to check that out, seekers, bro. And that skinwalker freaking joint. And that guy walking on all fours. Very creepy, seekers.
prisoner on death row who made history for all the wrong reasons. His story goes all the way back to 1988 when he maliciously took the life of Elizabeth Sennett. He was arrested and sentenced to death. For the next 33 years, he waited until November 2022 when officers told him that this was the last day he was going to be alive. He was scheduled for lethal injection, though the people performing his execution could not find his vein in time, thus resulting in Kenneth surviving. Instead of trying again, on January 25th of this year, the state of Alabama followed through his sentence by giving him nitrogen gas, which was the first time in history an inmate has ever been executed through this method. What nitrogen gas essentially does to the human body is it deprives it of oxygen, thus making it impossible to breathe. Unlike lethal injection, this process is extremely lengthy and painful. It can take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes to finish the job. Despite a ton of backlash, the state of Alabama did not listen. After 15 gut-wrenching minutes of Kenneth struggling, he passed away. Since then, a lot of controversy has sparked, so as always, let me know your thought.
Millions of TikTok.
That's freaking crazy, bro. That they legit seekers, they had to come up with a new way to freaking to end it all, man, because he survived on the first one. I guess that's what caused the outrage seekers. I even know something like that, man. That they even had to make like a drastic move like that, bro. I tell you, man, when I watch these videos, I'm just like you guys. I'm a fellow seeker, man, just seeking the truth.
videos are about to be muted in the next few hours, and it is going to change the app significantly. If you didn't know, TikTok pays music publishers a fee that allows you to use music on your videos for free. But now the second largest music publisher in the world, Universal Music Group, has refused to extend their contract with TikTok, and it expires on January the 31st at midnight. And they wrote a massive, pretty angry statement basically calling TikTok cheap, saying TikTok is trying to build a music-based business without paying fair value for the music. They also said that TikTok is allowing the platform to be flooded with AI-generated recordings, which is nothing short of sponsoring artist replacement by AI. TikTok then clapped back with their own statement, saying Universal Group has put their own greed above the interest of their own artists and songwriters, and that TikTok has been able to reach artist-first agreements with every other record label and publisher, saying clearly their actions are self-serving and are not in the best interest of their artists, songwriters, and fans. I don't know if you can tell, but this is basically a lawyer's rap battle. Now, what this means for you and the app going forward is that if you made any videos with music from their artists, which is a bloody long list, Taylor Swift, The Weeknd, Drake, BTS, Ariana Grande, Olivia Rodrigo, Eminem, SZA, Ye, Justin Bieber, and the list goes on and on and on. Your videos will likely be muted and will not go on the For You page. And what it means for the app, well, TikTok does have other partnerships, but they will lose a huge chunk of what makes TikTok TikTok. But the question is, what's the one trending sound that you hope is part of this removal?
That's actually freaking crazy, bro. It's like two freaking corporates just freaking arguing over money, man. And you get to see how that affects everybody else, the small people. They just thinking about themselves, man, but they're not really thinking about, I guess, the small people, how it's going to affect their freaking accounts. Like, what happened to, like, music reviews and stuff like that? Is this all just going to get muted, Seekers? Tell you, man. But when it comes to money, bro, nobody thinks straight, Seekers. Nobody.
I've been in the game for a long time, more than 70 probably.
I mean, I'll have to ask you, what was the most violent thing you've done yourself?
I was taking 2 recruits to do a task that was given to us. These recruits obviously were new, they didn't know what they were doing. They got nervous, they came back into the car and they told me that the people that were there were armed. We pull up near this person, and this person is obviously a rival. The person in the back seat, I was driving, the person in the back seat pulled out a rifle and shot him. He missed the shot, but injured him on the leg. At this moment, the rifle jammed. The recruit was panicking. I jumped out of the car, took the rifle, busted the bullet out, and cocked it back in, and I shot him again. This person was still agonizing, trying to drag himself through the pavement. The rifle jammed again, so I basically went up to him and smashed him with the butt of the rifle until his head exploded, and that was it.
So calm about it.
Obviously, there's more things that I've done but I'm not willing to discuss at the moment.
One of the most freaking dangerous freaking people ever, bro. Just he's like how so freaking calm. He just talking about it like it's just everyday conversation. Like he just didn't freaking end somebody, bro. In the most brutal way too, Seekers. Damn, what do we go into people's heads when they be doing that stuff, bro? I'm gonna have to find some more interviews, I guess, with him, bro. I guess I'm talking to them in a cartel or something. Insane Seekers, bro.
This 18-year-old killed a mother and her daughter while street racing. So this is Cameron Herron. You probably know his story by now. In 2018, he was just a normal 18-year-old kid. At the time of the accident, Cameron was producing content for YouTube, was going to school, and on the day of the crash, he decided that he and his brother Tristan were going to race. So Cameron had a lifelong love of cars, and so he and his brother would always race, and he and his friends would race. But on that day, he reached a speed of 162 miles an hour in his car. Damn. And that's when he careened into Jessica and Lilia, a mother and daughter who were crossing the street. Jessica was actually wheeling her daughter across the street when Cameron struck them both with his vehicle. So tragically, on that day, David, Jessica's husband and Lilia's father, was driving home from work when he passed by a huge accident. He said to himself, wow, that must have been a bad accident. He went home, but when he got home, he noticed that his wife and daughter weren't there. So he got back in his vehicle, went out searching for them, and when he returned and passed by the scene of that accident, he noticed the stroller that was sitting on the side of the road. He recognized that that stroller belonged to his family. They owned one just like that. And shortly afterwards, he discovered that the victims of that horrific crash were his own wife and daughter, who were now dead. So Cameron was obviously arrested. He was eventually sentenced to 24 years in prison. And shockingly, afterwards, people have made thirst accounts dedicated to Cameron. The actual hashtag Cameron Heron on TikTok itself has billions of views. And people have been idolizing this guy. His own parents have said in news articles that they get calls at all times of the day to their home from people from countries all over the world, specifically a lot of people from the Middle East, calling to see how their son is doing. But yeah, this is just a tragic story all around. David lost his wife and daughter, his entire family, due to one idiot's reckless decision to go 162 miles an hour down a normal road. And in prison, Cameron Heron is going to be there for a very long time. So his entire adult life is pretty much gone, vanished before he could even be, the legal age to drink an alcoholic drink.
Let's talk about the most banned.
It's freaking insane, bro. There's like billions of freaking. They said his name on freaking TikTok got freaking billions of views, bro. And people are like actually idolizing him, man, and calling him like they have no idea like what he did to that guy's freaking family, bro. So I said, man, seekers, when you don't even try to like straight race, do stuff like that, man, because you just never know what can happen, bro. The car can get out of control, and the freaking unthinkable can happen, man. That's why you never do that, bro. But the thing that's getting to me is, bro, how they say all these people calling them to ask to see how son of his jail doing, bro. I'm like, they're not gonna call the actual father to see how he's doing, bro. Like how his whole life was freaking changed, bro, ruined off of one action, bro. We need more sympathy seekers, bro. For people that go through things.
And children's book in the 1990s, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. Guys, they did this book so dirty, I need to tell you about it. And if you guys don't know, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark is a children's horror book that was written by Alvin Schwartz and illustrated by Stephen Gamble. But these books compiled a bunch of folklore stories accompanied by really creepy drawings, like this one. But these drawings unfortunately led to the book being in the top 10 most banned books in the 1990s. That's because parents deemed the book to have inappropriate and violent themes. The book started being pulled off of school shelves, leading to a drawing redesign in 2011 by another artist named Brett Hillquist, leading the drawings to be dramatically changed and basically no hate to that artist, but not scary at all. Examples include the dream going from this to this, the haunted house going from this to this, Harold, one of the most popular stories, going from this to this, the red spot going from this to this, as well as so many others.
What did it cover?
Like that's not okay. That's not okay. And this, of course, led to multiple resellers selling the book with the original drawings at very high prices. Fans were so disappointed until 2017 when this was released. The books finally got republished with the original drawings. But unfortunately, these don't have the original covers, which is okay. I feel like most fans just wanted, like, the drawings back. And I'll be honest, I feel like this only happened because 2 years later, there was a film adaptation by Guillermo del Toro, and this re-release literally says, soon to be a motion picture. Personally, I don't think the book should have been banned at all. But if this was terrifying, then just close the book. But what do you guys think? Do you think this book should have been banned? Yes or no? Well, what are your thoughts?
Seekers, what do you guys think, man? So that book had been banned, bro? Then, like they said, they tried to bring it back and water it down, try to change the images. But then it's like, they brought it back, bro, just because the freaking picture, just because the movie is coming out, man. So you know they did it for the money, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like, it's right there in our faces, bro. There's money involved, bro. They do not care. It still should have been banned if they freaking banned it the first time, but they brought it back for some extra money. Like, Seekers, I want to know you guys also that should they have banned the book or it shouldn't have never been changed.
Search teams have located the missing 4-year-old child with autism who went missing in Barber County. They found Phoenix Wilkerson, who before today was last seen Friday afternoon on Sid Bush Road in Clayton. Officials say Phoenix Wilkerson was found by a group of search canines and then was taken to a hospital where he's now being looked at by medical personnel. It is unknown at this time the condition of Wilkerson.
I think they found him. Oh, he found him. He's a hero. Give him clop seekers. What's he doing in the forest? You guys saying when he was freaking circled his feet, but they were like clean. So I'm like, what the hell? How did he get in the forest, bro? There was like his freaking feet were clean, bottom was clean. Did someone like drop him off there? Was he with somebody? Or did he just wander in there? Serious? I'm gonna deep dive into that case, bro.
Jurors on this case were so haunted by the crime that they needed trauma therapy. In March 2018, 38-year-old Veronica Youngblood from Virginia was arrested. On the night in question, she had given her daughters gummies laced with a sleeping aid. Her daughters were 5-year-old Brooklyn and 15-year-old Sharon. The mother of two then shot both of her daughters. Horrifically, Sharon did not instantly die. She was actually able to ring police and explain to them that her mum had shot them both. When jurors on the case were played this 911 call, they were so distressed that they actually needed therapy. The teenager was taken to hospital where she sadly passed away. It transpired that Veronica had called her ex-husband after the killings and told him that she hated him. She also told him what she'd done. It's believed that her motive for this hideous crime was revenge over him. He'd actually been planning to move away to Missouri with Brooklyn the following weekend. Following her trial, Veronica was sentenced to 78 years in prison.
A missing North Carolina...
Like, bro, do you know how freaking chilling a case has to be, bro? Like, the freaking issue of the jurors, they need actual therapy after hearing that freaking call seekers, man. All because she couldn't let the freaking past relationship go, bro. Dated for jealousy or revenge or something like that, but to take it out on your own kids, bro. Just to get revenge over your ex, man. That's not right, seekers, bro. Like I said, bro, this world can be an evil place, man. Ooh. That audio, bro, freaking haunted those jurors forever, bro.
Atlanta teenager was just found hidden under a trap door in this man's home in a completely different state. And what he has to say about it is horrifying.
She hid on her own free will. She was actually in the bed when the officers first come in there. Her grandma kicked her out. She didn't appear to be that age. She had all kinds of piercings.
In December, a 16-year-old girl left her grandparents' home in North Carolina after a fight and disappeared. She was officially reported missing on December 6th, and her grandparents feared the worst. But what they didn't know was that 3 weeks prior to her disappearance, a 34-year-old man named Zachary Jones found the girl online and started talking to her. And he actually lured her from her home after the fight with her grandparents. Zachary then drove the girl all the way back to his home in Lincoln County, Kentucky, where he repeatedly sexually assaulted her and gave her drugs. Fast forward to Christmas Day. Zachary's mom called 911 to report a domestic violence incident between Zachary and who she thought was his girlfriend. And when police arrived at the home, he said the girl was not there. He was quickly cuffed and placed in the back of a cop car after authorities found drugs in the home. And when they went back inside to search for the girl, they found something incredibly disturbing. Locked inside of a trap door hidden under a rug in Zachary's bedroom was a young girl who authorities say appeared very high. After investigating, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office realized that the young girl was reported missing nearly a month prior out of North Carolina. According to the girl, whose name has not been released, she said that Zachary initially told her that he was 19 online, but when she met up with him in North Carolina, he looked much older. It was there that he said he was 25, and it wasn't until they got all the way back to his home that she found out that he was actually 34. The girl said that Zachary was always armed with a gun and that he forced her to tell his family that she was 18. He also threatened to kill her many times and proceeded to sexually assault her and give her drugs. Sometimes sometimes even strangling her during the assaults. When the girl was rescued, Zachary denied choking her and said that she hid in the trap door on her own free will. But the girl had very visible marks on her neck that proved otherwise. The victim also said that on their drive back to his house, they were pulled over by a cop, and Zachary told her that he would shoot the officer if they were asked to get out of the car. Zachary was arrested and is being held at the Pulaski County Jail, while the girl was taken to the hospital for treatment and was reunited with her grandparents. In an interview from jail, Zachary admitted to all of it, but said that she told him that she was 18. He said that she didn't look to be 16 as she had all sorts of piercings, and that he was helping her after her grandparents kicked her out, which was not true. Zachary is facing 30 different charges in just Kentucky, but he's also facing more charges in North Carolina as well. He's being held without bond, and judging by his lack of remorse, I truly hope that he never gets out, because this story is absolutely terrifying.
It is.
These are the worst of the worst videos on the internet explained, and today we're starting with Funky Town. Before I begin, never look this video up. This is a massive trigger warning. The video begins in some sort of room and music is playing. The first song that plays is Sweet Child O' Mine by Guns N' Roses. And the camera pans to the victim on the floor with plastic wire. And the torture had already began before the video started. Because the victim looks like he's already been through complete brutality. His hands have already been cut off and his face has been completely flayed, which means skinned. There is no skin on the victim's face at all, and his eyes have been gouged out. And there is an insane amount of blood all on the floor. But the most messed up part about this is that the victim is hooked up to some sort of IV, and the IV is pumping him with drugs to keep him alive. And completely aware, making sure he feels everything that is happening to him. At the start of the video, they try and slit his throat with a farming sickle and press it against his jaw. But when the victim begins to scream, they shove a box cutter in his mouth to shut him up. His screams are absolutely gut-turning. They kept going from screams to gurgling, from screams to gurgling. As the video progresses, they take the box cutter and slit his throat about 40 times. And keep in mind, the victim is still alive and aware of everything because of the drugs they are giving him to keep him alive. Also, the cartel members are mocking and laughing at the victim the entire time. They then continue to try and slit his throat with the box cutter and were going at his neck numerous times. All while the song Funky Town was playing in the background, hence the name of the video. The cartel members kept having to physically restrain the victim, meaning that there was still a lot of life left in him. And the amount of pain he had to be in is completely unimaginable. At one point in the video, a cartel member has his foot on his chest holding him down, and another time they shoved a pole in his mouth holding him in place. But the worst part about the video is towards the end, where the victim manages to loosen his arms from the restraints and immediately tries to touch his face. But remember, the victim has no hands to feel, no face at all, and no eyes to see. The victim was most likely in so much shock that he likely forgot he had no hands, but instinctively the victim still tries to touch his face. It's absolutely horrifying, and the video then concludes. Also, keep in mind, the victim was still alive when the video ended, so who knows what else they did to him before he died. Because they were just keeping him alive to torture him. What makes Funky Town so horrifying, besides what happens in the video, is the mystery behind the video. We don't know the victim's name, we don't know why he was being tortured this way, or what he did. The only thing that we do know is that it took place in Mexico, and it's extremely horrifying to watch. You can make an argument that nobody has ever been tortured this bad in history. Funky Town is definitely one of the worst videos out there, and I don't recommend watching it ever. But to start off this series, Funky Town has the first spot.
Don't, bro. I never look up those videos, man, what that guy says, bro. You know, some people can have the guts too, but I guess I'm just not one of the seekers. You seekers, that's it for this video for you guys today, man. If you guys stay with me to the end, I really appreciate that, man. You seeking the truth just like you, so you're a true seeker for staying through to the end, man. Like I said, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, man, hit that post notification bell, guys. I'm trying to do these daily uploads for you guys, man. Like I said, I'm always trying to upgrade my freaking content, always trying to make it the best it possibly can be. So tell me if you guys want me to do anything better. Like I said, I know you guys talking about the audio and stuff like that. I do plan on fixing that and other stuff, but it's gonna come, seekers. So to stay with me, man. You guys can catch in the next one. I'm out. Peace, seekers.